Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. You're watching the 37th annual Bayonne St. Patrick's Day Parade on Bay TV. My name is Leo Hurley, and I'm joined by Bill Dwyer. And Bill, as they say, the sun always shines on the Irish, and that is both literally and figuratively true today. What a beautiful day for a parade.
That's for sure, Leo. It's great being back here once again, and Bayonne has another day, beautiful day for the marchers to come up the avenue, and being led by our Grand Marshal this year, Mr. George DELANEY.
What a great honor for George, and the parade is being led, as always, by the Catholic War Vets Post 1612 Color Guard, and immediately following them are the Staten Island Pipers. A bit about George DELANEY, though. George is a proud native of Ballyhonus, County Mayo. He's an alumnus of St. Jarlath's Boarding School and University College Galway, and has been in the United States since 1990, settling in Bayonne in 1992. He's been the chair of the Bayonne St. Patrick's Day Parade since 2014, and is an active member of the Shamrock Society, the Donegal Association, and the All Saints Golf Committee.
Leo, as you know, that the parade committee was formed in 1981 with its inaugural parade in 1982. And the committee that is chaired by George DELANEY, as well as he being the Grand Marshal this year, and the other members of the executive committee are Mike Boyle as vice chair, Agnes Gillespie as treasurer, Margaret Calverley as corresponding secretary, and Sheila Hudako as recording secretary. And this year's parade coordinator is also the 2012 Grand Marshal Sean Neary, assisted very well by Gabriella Figueroa.
And there he is, our Grand Marshal, George DELANEY, being saluted by the Staten Island Pipers and being accompanied by his aides, Maureen Boyle, Declan Green, Una Hughes, and Joan Shaw.
Come on, DELANEY. There's the DELANEY family marching proudly with their Grand Marshal heading east.
Immediately following them and coming into view now is the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee. A couple of the past Grand Marshals joining the parade committee, led notably by Grand Marshal Oliver Bracken and past Grand Marshal and former First Ward Councilwoman Agnes Gillespie, with two of her grandchildren.
A couple of the grandkids there. And now we have the Knights of Columbus 4th Degree coming up. The Knights of Columbus boasts over 700 active members, largest in the state of New Jersey. And I've been in part of this parade since its inception. Star of the Sea Assembly and Council as well.
Coming into view now are the series of the city's elected officials: Mayor Davis, Councilpeople Nadrowski and Perez, LaPalooza, Gillespie, and Tom Cotter, as well as Assemblyman Chavalati, as well as a number of other non-elected officials from the city, including Fire Chief Weaver and Chief Sisk of the Police Department.
Just another note about the parade, Leo, for those who haven't watched in prior years. These sponsoring organizations are the County CORKMEN Association, the County Donegal Association, the Irish American League, the Shamrock Society, and Ireland's 32.
Into view now are a couple of motorcycles from Bayonne's finest, and immediately following them are the Bayonne Police Pipes and Drums.
Now coming into view are the Bayonne Police Department Color Guard and the Bayonne Police Emerald Society.
We already saw Chief Drew Sisk, who was appointed in July of 17, Deputy Chief Pete Nevins and Deputy Chief Robert Geisler are leading the charge here of
Padre John
some of
Fensick
Bayonne's
right there.
finest. For those just tuning in, you are watching the 37th annual Bayonne St. Patrick's Day Parade, led by its Grand Marshal, George DeLaney.
And just some other things about George. He also has started, he was chairman of the Bayonne Bombers Rugby Football Club since 1997, and subsequently founded a youth rugby program in Bayonne 3 years ago, which is an under-19 boys tackle rugby team in Bayonne. So keeping the traditions alive, bringing it over from Ireland and setting them up here in Bayonne.
Marching now and coming into view are the Jersey City Firefighters Emerald Society Pipes and Drums, who were organized in 2010 and unsurprisingly is comprised of Jersey City firefighters.
It's very unique to this day and age, but Patrick Murphy is the pipe major, and the captain Greg Wallace is the pipe sergeant, and Joe Cayley is the drum sergeant. And here we have Bayonne Fire Department and Emerald Society.
A nice display, as always, from Bayonne's bravest, including 2 trucks, including former announcer and an enormous University of Maryland, Baltimore County fan, Brian Duffy. Finally, after all of these wins, all of those years cheering for University of Maryland, Baltimore County have paid off for Brian Duffy.
Go UMBC. There's a great crowd here at the end of the parade route by the reviewing stand, Leo, and we have heard that all along Broadway, a huge crowd has come out today to watch the parade and give recognition to George DeLaney and his aides. Now we have the New Jersey State Police Blue and Gold Pipe Band.
Immediately following the Blue and Gold Pipe Band is the folks from MCCABE Ambulance. MCCABE Ambulance, of course, can be rightfully referred to at this point as a Bayonne institution.
a little bit more about George, the Grand Marshal George Delaney, and
Happy St. Patrick's Day to all.
that's what live TV is all about, folks. But George is, as I mentioned before, about the starting the rugby teams here. That yesterday, a bit of history was made in Ireland in the Six Nations Rugby Championships tournament. Ireland won. They won the Grand Slam this year, and I know George and his colleague Sean Neary were watching those games very closely and certainly celebrating a bit after it, I'm sure.
Well, that's the end of the first contingent of the parade here, Bill, and we're off to a fast start. And the second contingent is beginning by a showing from the Union County Corrections Honor Guard and Police and Fire Pipes and Drums.
Their pipe major is Don Kozlowski, pipe sergeant is Lee Fuller, drum sergeant Paul Bolger, and drum corporal Pat Lavin.
Immediately behind Union County Pipes and Drums, as always, is the County CORKMEN Association, the oldest of the Irish clubs here in Bayonne, being led by their president and past Grand Marshal, Bill Conway.
This year's aide for County Cork is Maureen Ellen Boyle, whose father, Dan Boyle, was a co-Grand Marshal in the 1987 parade.
Past Grand Marshal Janet Levis Simwar, as well as past Grand Marshal Neil Hurley Sr. marching with CORKMEN. Immediately following the CORKMEN is the Nicholas ORESKO School.
Their principal is Charles Costello, and it's recognized as a star school in the state of New Jersey and a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence.
And a very spirited performance by the Lincoln School, led by their principal, Keith Makowski, followed by the Robinson Royals. A lot of young blood at this point in the parade. Mary Ann Connolly, of course, past Grand Marshal, longtime parade chair, accompanying the Robinson Royals.
Our next group here is the Bayonne Karate for Kids, founded in 2003. Provide a little presentation here first. Specializing in Taekwondo, the school has produced multiple state, district, and world competitors, many of whom came home with championship titles. And they do not only focus on the martial arts, but also to build character in their students.
Part of a long history here in Bayonne of the martial arts that goes back to the legendary Don Nagel.
Don Nagel, yes, indeed. Bayonne Karate for Kids.
Following Karate for Kids is the Bayonne Hometown Fair Association, accompanied by SpongeBob SquarePants.
Have you seen the play on Broadway, Leo?
Have not.
No, okay. Something that you might want to catch. But Bayonne Hometown Fair will be hosting their 4th annual fair this June. This next group is the Art of Living, which is a nonprofit humanitarian organization focused on equipping people with breathing techniques and meditation to handle stress and anxiety in this modern, fast-paced world.
From the art of living to the art of pipe bands, we have the Rampant Lion Pipe Band coming into view on the screen right now, Bill. The Rampant Lion Pipe Band participates in numerous events throughout the Mid-Atlantic region, including parades and the Celtic Classic in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, of course. Featured performance during the 2015 Ellis Island Tartan Day in the Great Hall. And we're lucky to have so many different bands from so many different places participating in this parade.
That is true, Leo. And right behind the Rampant Lion Pipe Band are the free and accepted Masons Peninsula Lodge 99. Today, the Masons have sponsored the Rampant Lion Pipe Band as well. Mason's trolley following up the group, the marching group. I don't see that often in Bayonne, though.
Trolleys?
Yeah,
or?
no, the trolley. I don't see this often. But
Real throwback.
perhaps it's around and we just don't see it. Now we have the Bayonne Friends of the Handicapped. Serves the development of the disabled throughout Bayonne. And they have an annual dinner dance coming up, which will be held in May at the Knights of Columbus.
Led by Pete Amadeo and accompanied, of course, by the deacon himself, Eddie Broderick.
We have the Hudson County Corrections and the IMTT Fire Department.
Little break in the action here, Bill. Everyone here is watching the 37th annual Bayonne St. Patrick's Day Parade, led by Grand Marshal George Delaney, proud native of Ballyhonus, Ireland, County Mayo. And coming into view now is the County Donegal Association.
And this is the beginning of our third contingent here. And its longtime president, 1993 Grand Marshal Kathleen Gillen O'Keefe, who hails from Convoy, County Donegal, Ireland. The aide this year to the Grand Marshal is Declan Green. Declan is a native of Omaha, County Tyrone, and has been active in several of the Irish organizations in town since moving to New Jersey in 2010. And there we have the participants and the winners of the Mary from Dunloe, Caitlin Brennan, and the reigning Mary from Dunloe, Alicia Medford.
Six people to hold up that banner, Danny Ward included, Mike Boyle. And immediately following is the South Park and District Pipes and Drums.
Pipe Major Bill McAvoy, Band Manager Brian Monteverdi, Pipe Corporal Paul O'Sullivan, Drum Major Chris McCarthy. Then you have the County Donegal Association. There's one of the Executive Committee Secretary, Sheila Hudako.
And here she comes, the matriarch of the parade herself, Kathleen Gillen O'Keefe.
And she was marched in yesterday's New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade. Now we have the Bayonne Bombers Rugby Club. Is that the Bayonne Rugby Glee Club, or perhaps, Leo? I don't know.
I think so. Followed by Peninsula Pirates Youth Flag Rugby, which is a co-ed youth rugby program founded by George Delaney in 2015. And then the Kerry Smith's Academy of Irish Dance from Jersey City.
As we have a little pause here, Leo, you know, there's always a lot of work that goes into this parade, and it's really the committee, the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, that does a great job every year in putting this parade together.
It's a great point, Bill. It's a 9-month-long process. Let's put it this way, there's a lot of ingredients that go into this soup. Up next, the DUNGLOE Senior Marching Band, joining us from, like so many people here in this town, DUNGLOE, County Donegal.
DUNGLOE is a beautiful little town in Donegal, as many of them are. They originally formed in 1972 and reorganized in 2014. They performed yesterday in the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade, and they led County Sligo up Fifth Avenue.
The members range in age from 17 to 60, and there's 30 musicians here who are playing instruments as varied as the accordion, drums, percussion, and the traditional tin whistle.
Following the DUNGLOE Senior Marching Band is Horace Mann School with Principal Dr. Catherine Quinn. The Tigers of Horace Mann.
Along with the school itself is the Horace Mann Cheerleaders, giving a little bit of a performance. The Horace Mann Cheerleaders, followed by Woodrow Wilson School.
Their principal is Maureen Brown.
And then immediately following them, the Henry Harris School.
And their principal is Maria Kazmar. Looks like we have the Girl Scouts of America coming up next, Leo. Girl Scouts involved in many, many projects in the city of Bayonne.
Immediately following the Girl Scouts are coming into view as one of the newest marching groups and organizations here in the city of Bayonne, the Circolo Hispano Americano, which was instituted in 2014. Immediately following them is the Atlantic Watch Pipes and Drums at the beginning of the 4th contingent of the 37th annual Bayonne St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Their pipe major is Andrew O'Sullivan and their drum major is Larry Story.
The Atlantic Watch has performed not just in Bayonne but internationally and as far afield as the Arizona Memorial in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Immediately following them is the Shamrock Society of Bayonne, the youngest and the newest and the youngest blooded of the Irish organizations here in Bayonne.
This year, the aide to the Grand Marshal is Una Fleming Hughes.
Number of familiar faces, the Cavalry's Michael Mulcahy and former Assemblyman Jason O'Donnell bringing up the rear with the Shamrock Society.
Patrick marching. Patrick.
Following them was a car of Irish Catholic men.
The New Jersey AOH, Ancient Order of Hibernians, the Father Michael Judge Division 1 of Hudson County. Hibernian of the Year is Paul Crowley. And the president is Red Beards. We have next the Bayonne High School Marching Band. Under the direction of Ms. Samantha Hitchell. The band is led by drum majors Ava Rodriguez, Caitlin Lafferty, and Brendan Montgomery. Bayonne High School Band, as you can see, is sporting some green in their ranks today, aside from their traditional colors.
The Bayonne High School Marching Band in the 37th annual Bayonne St. Patrick's Day Parade. Immediately following the band are some luminaries with the Bayonne Board of Education. Joey Broderick, the president, in full Irish sweater and ready to go, along with Leo Smith.
Bayonne High School step team is coming up now. The Steppers, under the direction of Ms. Ebony Flowers Stewart, known as the Stinging Steppers. We have now Mary Jane Donahue School, whose principal, P.J. Baccarella.
Followed by the Philip G. VROOM School. Principal Stacy Janico, followed by the Philip G. VROOM PTA.
And then we have the John M. Bailey School. Principal is Al McCormick.
Coming into view now is the recently restructured Bridgman Performing Arts Group, which I'm made to understand includes representatives from the Honor Guard, the Color Guard, and the Percussion Ensemble. The restructuring was designed to meet the needs of its current membership.
Changing with the times. It's always a good thing.
Bayonne Bridgman. Followed by the Fusion Twirlers. Fusion Twirlers are coached by Cheryl Falat and Sharon Falat Attar, United States Twirling Association national champions and members of the 2005 and 2011 USA International Cup Baton Twirling team.
And now we have the City Sports Arena, which was opened in October of 2015, offering many sports and activities, including soccer for all ages. Here's some of our friends coming into view right here. Some of these characters.
Everyone comes out for a parade, though. Everyone. Especially on a beautiful day like today.
Everyone, yes.
Mickey, Minnie. Lord knows what this thing is. All of them are here.
Poppy. It's Poppy. Leo, come on. It's Poppy. Oh, God. that completes our 4th contingent today, and we have one more contingent coming up.
The final contingent of the 37th annual Bayonne St. Patrick's Day Parade is being led by the St. Columcille United Gaelic Pipe Band. The band, based in Kearney, has competed internationally in Canada and Scotland and are in training and preparations for a trip to Ireland this summer. Their pipe major is Matty Blacken, and the drum sergeant is John Massey.
And they're immediately followed by the Irish American League. President Sue Sweeney, Vice President Maura Carney, Correspondent Secretary Margaret Calverley, Recording Secretary Dolores Gill, and Treasurer Diane Lyman. Their aide to the Grand Marshal is Joan Long Shaw, whose Irish heritage comes from counties Clare and Cavan.
Immediately following the Irish American League is All Saints Catholic Academy.
All Saints principal is Sister Rita Marie Fritzen of the Order of St. Francis, and they have an enrollment of over 450 students. It's celebrating its 10th year. And now we have Marist High School. The head of school is Ms. Alice Meisnick.
Followed by the Washington Community School, whose principal is George Becker. Washington School apparently is now the Patriots, used to be the Washington Warriors in the old days.
So that's what I like about this, Leo. We have this little bit of tidbits of history that we get along the way here.
Well, that's what we're here for.
It's true. We now have MIDTOWN Community School, Principal Christina Merkin. And this year marks MIDTOWN's 25th anniversary. And I know that recently they had a celebration marking that anniversary.
MIDTOWN School, a little bit of history, was the merger of the former S.A. Roberson School and Theodore Roosevelt Grammar School.
That's right.
Located on the site of the old PAL building.
This is some great Bayonne trivia here. We have now the Trinity Parish Boy Scouts Pack 27. Troop 27 is one of Bayonne's longest running active troops that began in the 1940s, initially known as the Scouts of Assumption Parish. But after Assumption closed, the troop was graciously accepted by Trinity Parish.
Immediately following the Scouts is Cheer Force Athletics, national champions,
under the direction of Charlene Wepner.
The 2017 national champions, Cheer Force Athletics. following cheer force is the United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners, Local 253. 26th year of participation in this parade.
That's right. Always a mainstay in this in our Bayonne St. Patrick's Day parade. Their president is Joe Elmo.
They're organized in this parade, as always, by Jim Mock.
Huge group, a large group this year. Very big group.
Large turnout from the Carpenters Union. Following the Carpenters Union is WEICHERT Realtors.
And here we have a new addition to the parade this year. This is Miss All-American Diva, Nancy Gallo Geyer, who is a kindergartner at All Saints Academy, Catholic Academy.
And now the Hudson County Sheriff's Department. Led by Sheriff Frank Schilleri. And a battalion of armed vehicles. You might ask, is this the 11th Armored Division? No, it's the Hudson County Sheriff's Department.
Coming into view now is the Weehawken High School Marching Band. Weehawken High School Marching Band.
Rounding it out today at the parade is the bus of the Ability Day Camp Arts and Crafts, and that's it.
Yes, Leo, I think that is a wrap again for the 37th annual Bayonne St. Patrick's Day Parade. Great crowd out here today. Honoring the Grand Marshal once again, George Delaney of Ballyhonus, County Mayo. is. Yeah, okay.
Rounding out the parade are the Bayonne Police Explorers.
Pretzels here. Hey, they're 2 for $5. Pretzels here. Who else?
And that does it for today's the 2018 Bayonne St. Patrick's Day Parade. We hope you enjoyed the parade, and we want to congratulate once again George Delaney, the parade Grand Marshal, and we hope to see you again next year.
Enjoy, everybody.